Hello. So here is the answer to the question that everybody's been asking. I didn't originally plan to talk to organizations. I started by creating programs for burnout. Uh, I call it adrenal dysfunction. For overwhelmed moms, alcohol recovery, and a gut program to help with the direct results of stress, alcohol, and loops of inflammation in relation. At first, I had three separate programs, one for burnout and adrenal dysfunction. I called it the Scatterbrain Focus Fix. And those of us that are in that right before burnout stage, we know exactly what I'm talking about. One for overwhelmed moms. This included menu planning. It was for a reunification program too, so that women coming out of 28-day programs would be reunited with their children, and it would have been easier for them than doing it on their own. So it was mainly for individuals that needed healthy sobriety. So AA helps a lot of different people, but we need more support. But when I was building these, I had this aha moment. I'm like, why are we waiting till it gets this far? And the reason why I knew that is because in sobriety, I started hitting it again. I actually relapsed once as well. But even with the stress, and then I started using supplementation, overachieving, anything, and this is my son, anything to get me through the day. We all know there was a few years back where it was really intense, especially for parents. So most coping doesn't start in crisis. It doesn't even begin at work. It starts with lifestyle. Hydration is huge. How many of you drink enough water? Nutrition, digestion, gut health, sleep, and movement. Those basics regulate stress chemistry, mood, energy, and resilience. Meditation, don't get me wrong, meditation, awareness, mindfulness, all those techniques are great. But if you're not getting to the root of the problem and you're only focusing on those and not these other, there's a huge gap. So when lifestyle is off, the brain starts to look for relief. So let me think here. And I apologize, sometimes I fight for words. Don't take this in the wrong way, but genetics just isn't DNA in my mind. It is learned lifestyle. And as research says, you may have genetics, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. You have two families, both of the same genetics, but one is illness free and the other is not. Instead of saying it's luck, let's see what they're doing differently. When lifestyle is off, the brain starts looking for relief. So with hydration, you have headaches. With nutrition, if you're lacking your vitamin Bs, that's huge. Thiamine and alcohol. In a lot of my posts, you'll see a lot on vitamin B and mental health. And that's the beginning of coping. We can call it we call it so many different things, but really it's a mental and physical imbalance. My gut health program plays a huge role here. And this comes from my own experience, and it took a lot of research and months to heal my own after years of drinking. But if the digestion is off and the body can't absorb it, what it needs, the brain struggles to regulate stress. That biochemical imbalance often shows up before alcohol or any other coping mechanism does. So sugar and stress causes inflammation in the gut as much as alcohol does. Those are the loops. Hydration, physical activity, all of that kind of stuff is a direct result of gut health. And we're starting to hear a lot more about the gut-brain barrier. Then the workplace adds another layer: pressure, deadlines, perfectionism, freeze responses, or over-functioning. Work doesn't create coping out of nowhere, but it definitely accelerates it. My son has played a big role in my life. He has kept me balanced. Come on in and say hello, Alex, please. And then I will continue on my way. So he's 8 now. He can regulate his emotions, and he was taught to help me be accountable for my own. So when I started over releasing my strong emotions, he knew to say, Mom, stop. So, or relax, actually, before he could talk, he learned the word relax. And this is where I come in with the families. Okay, so families absorb what workplace creates. My son was the straw that broke the camel's back. It wasn't him, and it wasn't just work, it was everything. So stress goes home, becomes communication and parenting, and I have some communication outlines out there, then comes right back the next day, twice fold. I often think of our kids. This again is genetics of lifestyle, though more than DNA. I will have to research more on the mental illness, but there's a lot of research that's saying that changing your lifestyle may help, and there is that link. There is something happening out there with our children, and it's concerning many. Research shows that lifestyle and environmental factors can contribute to both physiological stress and early mental health challenges in children. These patterns are appearing earlier than ever, highlighting the importance of prevention. Again, lifestyle. What really concerns me is how early kids' bodies are showing signs of overload. I see it in children walking by, the way they hold themselves, the look in their eyes. I can spot it. And in kids, it looks like dissociation. It's just lifeless, for lack of better words. So anyways, with all this, when I zoomed out, it finally clicked. By the time burnout or any kind of coping shows up, we're already far downstream. Prevention starts with lifestyle and physiology, but support needs to include the workplace too. That's where coping is reinforced and normalized. Families and work can hold people accountable, and I feel that I'm a strong mentor due to my experience. I have the experience, the integrity, I'm firm, compassionate, I have perseverance, and this is a huge passion of mine. Again, because of the generational, when I was working with the reunification program with the women, I could see how it was passed down from one family to the next, and that is where I can see the prevention and early intervention. So anyways, that's why I'm talking with organizations. If we can support people earlier before coping becomes collapse, we don't just help individuals, we support families and the next generation, watching all of this unfold. By changing our lifestyle now, we can pass on the knowledge and habits that restore health instead of continuing the cycle, stress, and imbalance.